Welcome from the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Stevens lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc, Perez, Gasly, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Albon, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Joe, Sainz, Norris, Bottas, and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not.
Yeah, they have. And, rule number 1, beat your teammate. They're the one that share the same equipment as you. And yes, the cars can vary in setup from race to race and depending on who has which style. But essentially, they're your barometer, the yardstick. If you can beat them, that's the first job you have to do. And it looks like it's going their way, doesn't it? And they need to carry on this momentum, this energy through the rest of the season.
And the formation lap is underway here in Austria. The atmosphere coming from the fans here today is electric. This circuit gives drivers fantastic overtaking opportunities due to the 3 long straights. So let's hope we're in for some wheel-to-wheel action today. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, and failing that, within the points.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available. Good job. Nice overtake. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Gap to your teammate behind, 8.7 seconds. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Keep on him, he might make a mistake. 5 minutes until rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain. It's Verstappen ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time, 1 minute 07.9. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 9.7 seconds. Okay, mate. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push. Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate. Okay, let's go now. Come on. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. We're expecting the rain to hit us any time now. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Green flag. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.8 seconds. Lando's in the pits. Lando in the pits. ERS is low, ERS is low. Consider changing mode on your MFD or lift a little with gentle braking into corners to recharge it. The car behind you's just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres. Minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. Brilliant, nice move. Keep going. And we're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff. The tyre situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now. 10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 2.7 seconds. Okay, I think it might just be about time to come and change these tyres. Okay, mate, your lap times are all over the place right now. We've got to have consistency. Come on, we can do better than this. Other teams are fitting intermediate. Okay, forget the targets for now. We've got to focus on the pit stop. Okay, go, go, go! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops, let's go. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Gap to your teammate behind, 4.8 seconds. Okay, mate, we need to save up some ERS, so let's focus on charging it up, please. Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate. Russell's ahead of you now. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 6.6 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Their tyres are 2 laps old. And the time last lap, 1:12.1. I'm afraid you've been given a... Okay, I think the track's going to be drying out quite soon. Be careful you don't burn out your tyres. Okay, Russell's ahead. Okay, gap to the car in front, 4.0 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Time last lap, 1 minute 12.0. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. Keep going. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up. DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates. Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. We're not certain which is the best tyre right now, dries or inters. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 25.0 seconds. I'm afraid you've been given a... Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. Top job, mate. Top job. Yes. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but man, you pulled through. Thank you. Well done.
Here's the checkered flag. Here's our winner. By George, he's done it. Russell wins.
To overcome the difficult circumstances they face throughout this race today, Crofty, it's not easy, and it really shows a lot of maturity, and you can use this, you can draw on this as a driver moving forward and boost your confidence through the rest of the championship.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.